Morning, good people. It's Iceberg coming to you this Thursday morning. Hopefully you're up and at it and having a wonderful start to your day. We're close to the weekend, so hopefully you got your plans already made. Last night, hopefully you got to check out me and Doe Eyes TV over on Doe Eyes TV channel. We did our debut episode of our Seeds of Life podcast. Her and I are going to be collaborating doing a podcast called Seeds of Life, where we talk to you about preparedness, preparation, and we'll dive deeper into a whole lot of things. We did our debut episode last night, so make sure y'all go over to Doe Eyes TV channel and check that out. You'll see what we're talking about. You'll get to learn a little bit about each one of us, so you know kind of the perspective of where we're coming from, and you'll get to, participate in the conversation. I wasn't able to get my camera working for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I hated that because I wanted to be on camera, but was able to do the talking, was able to have the good conversation. So the conversations was important, not staring at my mug anyway. So hopefully next time we'll be able to get the camera working properly and I'll actually be on camera. I like to actually see y'all when I'm talking to you. You can see facial expressions, all that good stuff. But again, go over there, check that out. It was our debut episode. We just kind of broke down what it's going to be about. Told you a little bit about ourselves, told you where we come from, a little bit about our backgrounds and that type of stuff. And then we just had other little random conversation, kind of breaking the ice and giving y'all a little rapport to see how her and I interact, how we bounce things off of each other. And we actually have a lot in common in terms of where we lived and stuff like that. We, didn't know it, but as we were asking each other questions and doing, kind of a little icebreaker interview or whatever, we found out that we have been, in some of the same areas. We're familiar with some of the same areas and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to find out. But yeah, make sure y'all go over there and check that out. Again, Doe Eyes TV. She's tagged in the description. So if you just click on her name in the description, it'll take you over to her page, and it'll be one of the most recent videos that she did because we just did it last night. So take a look at that. It's called Seeds of Life. We'll be doing it again this coming Wednesday. We'll actually be diving into some of our actual subjects as opposed to just doing the debut. This coming Wednesday, we don't have the time set yet. We did it at 6:30 last night. I don't know if we're going to stick with 6:30 or, our schedules are, we have to kind of line our schedules up. We're both very busy people, so we have to do it when our schedules line up. But we're planning this coming Wednesday, the 14th, to do our, I guess in a sense, first episode. Yesterday was the debut. This will be the first actual episode where we dive into a subject or whatever. We plan to do it this coming Wednesday, the 14th. And then I think we're going to skip a week and then do the 28th and maybe make it bi-weekly after that. So make sure you check out last night's and then set up to come and check us out this coming Wednesday on the 14th, where we'll dive into one of our subjects, or maybe more than one probably, because once we get to talking, we start going all over the place, but we stay on subject. But, anytime you're having a conversation with somebody, it's going to branch off. So it's good conversation. It's stuff that we all need to know. This is not about race. It's not about gender. It's about everybody needing to know this information. It's seeds of life. It's life for all people, especially our youth. We're talking about wanting to instill these things in our youth. So the next generation, when they come up, they already know how to do a lot of these things, and they're not behind the eight ball like a lot of us are trying to learn this stuff later on in life because we weren't taught it when we were growing up. So we want to instill this stuff in the future generations so they're set up to come out and be successful in this world. That's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to make things better for the next generation than it was for us. So that's our goal. Starting to rain on me here a little bit, but that's good. We need the rain. I'm happy that it is raining. You probably can't tell if I just show the camera up. But yeah, make sure you're getting out here in your garden. Make sure you have a garden for your family. The time of year is changing. The weather's changing. This rain wasn't in the forecast, but it's raining on me right now. It's that time of year, especially here in North Carolina. We're in hurricane season. The weather is rapidly changing. As you see the garden back here, it's looking different because it's that time of year where your garden gets in transition. Things, you hit the end life of some of your summer vegetables and stuff that you planted. You're doing the beginning life of some of the fall crops that you're going to plant. Some of the areas you may just put mulch or something on them so they can stay, the soil and all that stuff can retain its nutrients, and anything you have planted beneath that may come back the next year can actually retain its life and not get frozen out over the winter. So it's the transition stage for gardens. Make sure that you're getting out here. Just because your garden may not look as pretty as it did all summer, because you see mine, it's all green, but there's different shades of green. Some of the stuff is wilting and dying. That I actually did to the cucumber plant. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about that later. But it's that time of year where the garden goes into transition, and it may not look as pretty as it did all summer. It may not be as colorful because a lot of your fall and winter crops are leafy green. So they just be green, and then you'll have, brown in between because you maybe have mulch or leaf clippings or something like that now. So while your garden may not look as pretty, depending on what you put out there for your fall and winter crops, it still can be producing food for you and your family. That's what's important. Yes, we like it to look pretty as much as it can, but just, not a lot of things grow. Not a lot of your pretty flowers and stuff like that grow and bloom when it's cold outside. That's just what it is. You want to put some fake flowers out there because you got to have it, go at it. But make sure that your focus is on actually providing the food for you and your family. Good quality food, the stuff that you all like to eat, and it's going to reduce your grocery bill. It's going to actually have it available for you because, as we're saying, we're expecting some shortages and things. So whenever they have the E. coli outbreaks and stuff, when you hear about spinach every few years, they talk about E. coli and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that with your spinach if you're growing it yourself because you've been taking care of it. You've been inspecting it, making sure it's not getting any pests, making sure it's not getting any diseases or bad bacteria. E. coli is a bacteria. So you've been inspecting your stuff and you take care of it properly and all of that. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. That's the rest of the world worrying about that. Why? Because they're getting their spinach from somebody else. You're getting yours right out of your backyard. So this is what I'm talking about, people. Take the action today. You have to act now. Can't wait till winter gets here. Some of this stuff is going to take 2-3 months to start growing, or to grow to the point where you can actually pull some fruit from it, or vegetable from it and eat it. So you have to get it planted now. We're in early September, approaching mid-September. This stuff is not going to be good and ready till probably November. See what I'm saying? Got to do it now. Do it now. You'll be eating good later. Make sure you just take the time to make the plan so you're prepared when those shortages come. That's what we're talking about on Seeds of Life. Making plans and being prepared. It's all about preparedness. But in order to get prepared, you got to first make that plan. So check us out. We were on Doe Eyes TV channel last night. We'll be coming back at you again this coming Wednesday on the 14th. Seeds of Life, people. It's what we all need to hear. It's what we all need to know. And it's definitely what we need to be teaching to our next generation. The youth, that's where it's at. We can teach them to be so much greater than we were because we can teach them the things that we know we didn't get taught in school that we wish we were now. As adults, I wish I was taught gardening and some more intricate things of carpentry and plumbing and electrical work and all this. I wish I was taught all of that stuff in middle school and high school, but I wasn't. So I'm teaching myself and learning that stuff now as an adult. But we, knowing this, have the ability to teach the youth that stuff now. So when they graduate high school, they already know how to do all of this. And if they decide they want to go to college and do something else, fine. But if not, they have all the skills and trade skills they need to go out there, get their license in whatever trade it is they want to do, and go out here and start making some money on their own as their own self-employed person in business. Because we've also taught them the business side of things as well. We spend so much time in school teaching them stuff that does not benefit them in the real world. I remember back when I was a kid in school, I used to say, how is this going to benefit me in the world? People say that about math a lot of times. I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use that. And what have we used? Have we used it? Yes, there are certain aspects of geometry. And I was good at math, so I don't have a problem with math. But yeah, there's certain aspects of geometry and stuff like that we use with angles and things like that. Absolutely. But a lot of that calculus and stuff like that I was doing, statistics and all of that, yeah, I haven't used that stuff very much. A lot of the stuff that they had us reading in English class, I'm not really using a lot of that. I really would have felt I got more benefit out of reading a book that was teaching me something as opposed to just telling a fictional story. That's just me. I like to read for information gain, not for fiction. I'm not a person to pick up a book, a novel or whatever and just start reading it. That don't really interest me. I want to read for information gain and learning as opposed to learning about some fictional characters and, author's thought, and bless them. I don't have any problem with books or authors, and your fictional stories. It's just not for me. I read for information gain. I read for learning and for knowledge. because I'm not a huge reading, reader. I'm not a huge reader. But when I do read, I like to read for information gain and knowledge. So make sure that we are designing these curriculums in the schools so that the children come out prepared to go out in this world to kick butt and take names. They already have all of the skills they need. Like I said, unless they want to be a doctor, lawyer, some of those other professions where they really need to go to college, we need to start making these kids prepared to go out into the world right after high school, not having to go to another 4 years of college and waste their time. Go out here, start being productive in our society right there at that moment. As soon as they're done with their high school, they have all of the skills and knowledge they need to go start their own business and to go out in this world and be their own boss. We have to instill that in people. We have to show that to them. We have to model that to them. They're going to do what they see us do, right? Children learn from what's modeled in front of them. So a child that's growing up in the hood and all they see is drug dealing and stuff like that, and that's the way they make money, that's what they're going to gravitate towards, because they do what they see. But if we show them more people going out, show them more guys in the hood with a pickup truck, and they got their tools and stuff on the back of the truck, and they see them drive off in the morning with their truck, and they going out and getting work, and then they come back in the afternoon, and they dirty from working and stuff, but they got money in their pockets because they've been out there grinding, and they see all of the guys in the hood go do that rather than standing on the corner selling. They're going to wonder what those guys are doing. They're going to want to jump in the truck with them and go find out how they're going to get that money, because kids like money. But if they see how you're making money, they're going to mimic it. So if you're making money by going out and selling drugs, that's what they're going to mimic. If you're making money by doing trades, that's what they're going to mimic. But it's up to us to show them what it is that is the positive and successful ways to make money. Because again, that's what it's all about in this society. It's about money. I don't think it should be, but it is. So I'm not going to deny what it's about. Now we have to use that to our advantage. Kids like money. Kids want to know how to make money. So let's start modeling for them people getting off their butts, going out in their truck and going out somewhere to do a trade or whatever, and then coming back with that money in their pocket and pouring it into their neighborhood or into their own family, into their, stuff that they're doing at their house. Let's start making that the norm, as opposed to them getting up and seeing guys standing on the corner selling drugs, because they're going to want to do what they see makes the money and what gets the fame. And we glamorize drug dealing, standing on the corner, being lazy, being on welfare. We glamorize all these things, being a single mom. We glamorize all of these things. That's not what we need to be glamorizing. We need to be glamorizing families that stay together. We need to be glamorizing people getting up off their butt and going out and working for themselves, going out and getting a trade, and then going out and working, whether they're working by themselves or working on a crew, but going out and working during the day and then coming back with that money in their pocket and then showing their kid, this is how you make real money, good money, clean money, and how you can do it without having a boss. That right there to me is the American dream, and that's what we need to be instilling in the kids, not chasing after fame, not even chasing after the wealth, but chasing after the ability to be self-sustainable, take care of oneself, be prepared for whatever situations that are going to come, and know how to make the plan to navigate any situation. That is what's important. My opinion, these are Iceberg's thoughts. Salute.